Hello and welcome to this bite-sized webinar from Pearson. Today we're looking at you are the ESOL assessor and we're focusing on level 1 writing, and in this instance we're looking at an email. My name is Chris Briggs and I'm the product manager for Post 16 English, Maths and Digital Skills here at Pearson. So let's have a look at the task itself. So here on the left hand side you can see the question. Um, the learner has received an email from their friend Hassan in there, and what they need to do is write a reply to Hassan's email. They must give him some suggestions for how to succeed and enjoy college, and give him some tips about making new friends. Here on the right hand side is the response of the learner. Now, for today's video, I've left in the annotations from the assessor, so you can have a look at that as well. But here's an opportunity to have a quick pause of the video and have a read through in a little bit more detail. Okay, so let's have a look at the mark scheme. So when we're looking at the mark scheme, what we're offering here is basically the appropriate level of detail for purpose. So this is 3 bullet points, but it's actual 2 bullet points in this assessment with expansion on the topic. Opens and closes with the appropriate semi-formal phrases. Now I have sought clarity on that, and when we go back and look that hi Hassan would be appropriate for this particular level with that level of formality in there. Obviously, we can see the learner hasn't actually done that, but that would be something that would be suitable. The main body of the email uses appropriate language for the audience and purpose. The email is sequenced in a logical order to make sense to the intended audience. There's appropriate expansion of ideas in the middle section using paragraphs. The email makes grammatical sense and they're allowed to make 2 grammatical errors. Capitalization and punctuation are used correctly, and again, 2 errors. And accurate spelling, again, they're allowed 2 errors. And as with other videos, obviously, when it comes to the spelling, any word they use is expected to be spelled correctly, regardless of the level of the word. So let's have a look at what the chair of examiners said about this particular piece of work. So let's have a look in here. As I said, I left the annotations in to make it easier to award marks for yourselves. But first of all, the level of detail is good. So there's a mark awarded for the level of detail. There is no appropriate opening and closing, so the mark has not been awarded. It just starts with Hassan and just ends with the learner's name, so we wouldn't expect more. The language in the body of the email is appropriate, so we've given them a mark there. And the email is in logical order and does make sense for the audience. So again, a mark for that. There is a lack of paragraph, so that mark has not been awarded, but they have got a mark for spelling, but none for grammar and punctuation. So when we go back and have a look, you can see in terms of paragraphing, it's really difficult to make out whether or not they have used paragraphs. One of the things that makes it a little bit more difficult is not one of the sentences starts in the same place, so you can't actually say that there are different paragraphs in use there, I'm afraid. In terms of the spelling, there are 2 spelling mistakes, but that's generally fine in there because we can see when we look on here 2 spelling errors. In terms of punctuation, there are some issues there with the punctuation capital for Mr. Wilson, the use of an apostrophe in there as well. So we do have quite a few errors in there and grammar as well. It is making things easier. I have revised. Okay, so again, we have picked out um, errors in there, and in total, we have more than 2 grammatical errors, more than 2 capitalization and punctuation, but only 2 spelling errors in there. It's interesting with the annotations from the actual assessor who looked at that. Not everything was put in there and annotated. Just a word of advice. One thing that I've seen that I thought really worked well is when annotating, you put the number of the mistake after there. So it would be SP for spelling one, SP for spelling two. Just makes it really easy then to see the number of mistakes when you're looking back at it. In total, this learner would get a total of 4 marks out of the 8 available for this piece of work. So I'd just like to say thank you for watching this webinar today, and that we hope you have a lovely day. Thank you very much.